Hey everyone, we're here with Sinner from Hate, is a blackened death band that have been around since 1990. Abso-fucking-lutely fantastic. It's heavy. It has always, I don't want to say it's always changed, but there's been like a constant evolution with the band that is really, really evident with your latest album, Bellum Regiis. Is that how you say it?
It's Bellum Regiis. So you are pretty close. Thanks for this great introduction. And yeah, I'm glad to be here talking to you and your listeners. So yeah,
So
we'll
May
try to answer your
2nd.
questions as much as I can. Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
May 2nd is the release of the album, and I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are super, super excited for this release. Correct me if I'm wrong, is this release number 3 with Metal Blade?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, actually, we should be now touring the US and Canada along with Belfagor. The problem was with the visas, the
Yeah.
working visas, and the procedure has changed recently for some reason, and it's more time consuming. First of all, it's a bit more expensive as well. So we're our first application was rejected, and now we're working on the second application, which is coming up, I think, next week. It will be, applied by some American lawyer that was hired by us, and we had to gather a lot of documents, which they call with the immigration call evidence.
Yeah.
So I hope we have enough evidence right now to be granted these visas, and if we do get granted, the visas will come on at one tour this year and one more next year. So yeah, I'm really counting on it, and I keep my fingers crossed that this time it's going to work better for us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'd love to have you guys back in the States. That would be absolutely fantastic. And I do know that there was just a tour announced where you all are going out with Venom Inc., right?
Yeah, yeah. It's a European tour, like a full-fledged tour, 24 shows, as far as I remember, and it starts next Monday, I think. Not next week, but in 2 weeks. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much. It's a great opportunity to team up with Venom Inc. and Crisium from Brazil, um, which both bands have been very good friends of ours, for some times. Yeah, so it makes it even more exciting. And for the first time, we're gonna play some songs from the new album, Bellum Regiis, and it's the first time we'll be playing them live on our live shows. And one song is probably the opener, Bellum Regiis, and the second is Iphigenia, which is the first single that was released just like 2 weeks ago, and it's running on YouTube as a video, right? So everybody can watch. And yeah, and American tour is among our priorities, and I'm sure we'll be, yes, pushing it as much as possible to finally make it happen. And our agent from the US, which is a Continental Touring, I know that they are working on some tours this year and next year. So yeah, I hope there'll be good opportunities to present this new material, this new album live in America.
I'm sure that there will be. I know it with all of the bullshit political landscape changing right before everyone's eyes over the last few months is been very challenging for all the international bands that want to come over here. A lot of bands have had to cancel because of visa changes or challenges, or honestly, they just the cost increase or what have you. So hopefully that gets figured out pretty quick for you guys, and you're able to bring that amazing show over. Those two opening tracks on the album are absolutely like just what a fantastic way to open the album.
Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the album is a fruit of our collaboration with a music producer from Sweden. His name is David Castillo. Is a great producer known for working with bands like Opeth, Catatonia, Carcass, Decapitated, Tribulation, and the list is goes on and on. The long list is this guy has a great experience, and great background. And I had an opportunity to meet him like 2 years ago. We were touring Scandinavia back then together with Vader, and we were in Stockholm, Sweden. And somebody gave me his phone number, and I called him, and he showed up. He came to the show, and so we had an opportunity to meet and to talk like face to face. And then since then we had been in touch with him. And 1 year later, we landed in his studio and started recording the album. So it was partly recorded in Sweden, partly in Poland. Then we did the mixes with him in Sweden, and then we did also mastering in Sweden. So it was kind of, lengthy process altogether, but it was worth waiting, and it was worth the efforts and work that we have put in it. And now everybody is in the band is exciting to see it being released finally after all those months. So yeah, so it's great to have the album finally out
For
soon.
sure. Yeah. So what was, from the time you started writing until it was done being mastered and you guys had that finished product in your hand, like what did that look like for you? Like, I guess specifically the writing process.
The writing process was actually pretty quick. This I just came up with the main ideas at one point, like say 3 months, I think, prior to the recording. We started like rehearsing a lot, having just rough ideas, very rough ideas. And this was a great motivator. Okay. It really kept us motivated for this intense short period of time, especially also because David wanted us to make some pre-production that he would be able to listen to and give some suggestions, some remarks. So we did that, and landing in his studio, we actually had all the songs done and arranged, and his suggestions we just took them into account, and we changed just some elements here and there, but not so many changes in the material itself. But it was quite a challenge because this time we recorded in an, you can call it extended lineup, because we have this female vocalist on board with us, and one guy, a friend of mine, Michał Staczku, who was responsible for, let's say, orchestrations and synthetic sounds, and also some ethnic instruments. So, and the female vocalist Eliza Saharczuk, that's her name. So she's from Poland as well. She is known for singing, let's say, folk music, folk songs. But I heard that she used to live in Greece, so I asked her about this, and it turned out that she can speak Greek very well. So I took this opportunity and I asked her to sing some classical parts of Greek literature from Aeschylus, and we just selected some texts that fit in our songs very well, and she sang them beautifully in Greek. So it was a great win, I think, and I love that idea, and I love her voice as well, because it's also create some great contrast with mine. And I was looking for a vocalist that would have this quality in the voice that would make us sound like a team, kind of. So yeah, so it was fantastic, and I think that in the future we will probably make some project with Elite.
Yeah, she has a stunning voice. I think I think you nailed it. It's like the perfect contrast to your voice, and it adds this element to the song, that you really don't, as a listener, you're not expecting it to happen, and then it
Mhm.
happens, and you're like, oh man, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I love that too, and especially that one purpose while working on these songs was to make them, how to put it in English. Let me think about it. Okay, I would say, if you want the music that you want to make music that punishes you on one hand and rewards you on the other, so it has the both qualities, like some melancholy and some euphoric melodies, and also some power and some punch and this, hitting hard.
Yeah.
So uplifting and crushing, this is quite a challenge, and it's not easy to catch this type of thing. But I think we managed to achieve this goal sometime, throughout the album in a few songs at least. So I'm pretty happy and proud of it, and
Yeah.
to be honest.
It's a lot like pushing and pulling with your child, like you want to push them
Mhm.
to really like open up, but you need to be there to like pull them in when it gets a little too far. So I like the way
Exactly.
that you explain that, right? It's punishing and rewarding like at the same time, which is
Yeah. Yeah. That's the idea pretty much. And the album has some strong theming in general, but it's not I wouldn't call it a concept album because it's not so rigid in its structure, but it has some strong theming, and it's about power and glory and the and all the struggle that comes with it, I would say, to put it in brief. So as you can imagine, it is also inspired by what we can observe right now, right here, and especially in Eastern Europe, from the place where I am. I can, observe it like almost every day in the media, what's going on in Ukraine and elsewhere. And it is again seems that this multipolar world is like coming back to life, after many decades of relative stability, I would say. So that's why the change in the politics that we can all see, and sometimes we can get affected by it, of course. And yes, but this makes you think a lot about it, and you pose some bigger questions, like, for example, why are we as humans, we are so strongly inspired by concepts like power and wealth and glory, and why is that so? And we don't really give like clear answers to that big question. But it's just the goal is to make people give some attention to this kind of
raise
issues.
awareness and make them question it. Yeah.
Exactly, because it is something that is in every one of us, in some way. I mean, of course, it's a question of scale, but every one of us has some personal battles in life and some personal struggles, and everybody should understand this. It's like competition and rivalry, and it's a lot of it around us in everybody's life. And on this album, we also use these themes from mythologies, from Greek mythology as well as Slavic mythology. There are a lot of references to both Greek and Slavic mythologies, and it's not a new thing for me. I mean, I have been using the mythologies as a universal stories that are true to life right here, right now as well. Because people who lived in antiquity, they probably faced the same dilemmas, the same hard choices as we do in our lives. So it's about this human essence that constitutes everybody, I think. So using the mythological stories, I try to come across with some universal ideas that are true to different periods of humanity and different situations, to pretty much to everybody. Yeah.
It's funny to think about, like I think a lot of people today think we've got it harder than we've ever had it, right? And
Hmm.
and the reality is you nailed it. All through history, we have always struggled, as a human
Yeah,
species. We
absolutely.
struggle with the lust for greed and power and try to balance it with the love we have for other people. Man,
Absolutely.
what a crazy battle
Absolutely.
that is.
It is. And war and kinetic conflict is the most extreme form of it, I think. And this is the moment where you can, or when you can see that this how to put it, this dark aspect of human essence is more exposed than in any other situation in life. So if you, for example, observe this war in Ukraine as much as I do, almost every day I can get some visuals from the front line and from propaganda as well, because it is all together. That then you simply think more about these I would say dark aspect of human soul, let's say, which has always fascinated me by the way, since the very beginning of this band. This is, and it's inspires me the most probably. And this darker part of human essence, which some people call it Satan, some others call it just dark part of the human soul, but it definitely is there, and it manifests in different ways. And war is a perfect
Perfect example. Yeah.
is a perfect example when it comes to light harder and more, in a more visible way.
So has it for you, like has it always been war that you were, I don't want to say attracted to, but it kind of is, right? Drawn to show that like dark side, or have you been interested in other aspects? Like for me, I'm also drawn to like the the dark part of people's souls.
Hmm.
And it for me it manifests primarily through like serial killers. I'm
Hmm.
always fascinated, like how can you do that
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
be okay with it in the end? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, war actually is the theme of war is explored by us on this album for the first time in such an extent, I would say. And and it's because of this, obvious inspiration that comes from the world around us right now. But but if you look at the album's cover and you see it's a painting of a king, but it's if you look at him, you can see that he's not a triumphant monarch like that, He's
Right.
rather a guy who has been through a lot of struggle and ordeal and a lot of fights probably. His last obvious attribute of power, that is his crown, okay, that he is really, clinging on to, is something that tells us that this guy is the king, actually. But symbolically, the message behind this is that power comes at a cost, okay? So there's a price to pay for it, and it's not just price for those who take part in this race, but also for other people around him and around this situation. And it's the price is suffering, is blood, is this ordeal. So so this yeah, so the meaning of this artwork is also there to make people think, or to make people ask questions about it, to give it some attention. It is also not that obvious triumphant monarch, and I'm the winner. This guy might be the winner, but he might also be the great loser, because power came at a cost that is simply too big, and maybe it wasn't worth it at all to lose so many lives, or to sacrifice so much. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the cover.
I really like, that I really like that you're like so in detail with that. Think you nailed it, right? Like he might be the winner, but at what cost?
Yeah,
What has
exactly,
he lost through that? And I think when we, when we think about war, at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know what that ultimate cost is. I mean, we can count it in a number
exactly,
of lives, but like in how much love for another person have we really, have we lost?
exactly. It's somebody said that war is like a dark room where once you enter it, you don't know what what is waiting there for you. Okay, and that's exactly what we are watching right now, which is the conflict that is not doesn't have any prospect of ending, of being ended like this. It's escalating, it's developing, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's pretty dangerous, I would say. Mhm.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you on that. So for you, is there a song on the album that you like or like performing more than any of the others?
Well, about performing, I don't know yet, to be honest. Okay, because only
Yeah, it's fair.
yeah, the songs, they have like a new life once you play them in front of the audience. It's a different thing when you just play them together with the other guys in the band in the rehearsal room. It's a different world, really. So we will see. We'll be trying to present some songs on our live shows, and then we'll see how they work, and how they work for us, and how they work for the audience, for the audiences. So we will see. But on the upcoming tour, we will definitely play two songs. The first two songs that you mentioned, which is Bellum Regiis and Iphigenia. And then we'll be adding more songs to our live, repertoire in the upcoming months, because we have some more plans, touring plans. And yeah, just a few days ago, another tour was confirmed, and it's in South America, together with Ultimas, right? With David Vincent in that band, and yeah, we're gonna play a tour with the guys, teaming up with them in autumn, I think. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'm sure that there are lots of shows ahead of us in support of this new record.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it coming to the States. That's, one I absolutely enjoy live shows, and you are one of those bands that I have not caught yet that I plan to hopefully sometime in the next year.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, Center, I know that you have another interview tapping on your door. So
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you taking time out to come and chat with me about the album and the theme around it. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing um, all the fan response to it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for this review, and for inviting me here. And yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you. So I'm sending a big hello to our supporters and fans, and everybody who's listening. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. Have a great day.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
See ya.